there's a butthole, and there's, oh, he's got two holes. Okay, he's got two buttholes.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Shortimus Prime here doing another Transformers figure review on the Transformers 4 Age of Extinction High Octane Bumblebee. You know, if you're trying to get your Transformers figures, you can get them at Big Bad Toy Store.
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
I've said it a few times, I really like the packaging for these movie figures. I think they look pretty awesome. I just want to do a little packaging comparison to this G1 colored Jazz figure over here from the first Transformers movie. My brother gave this to me a while ago. I've opened it and repackaged it, but I just figured it'd be kind of nice to take a look, you know, these older figures. What a long bio over there, and look at all those tech specs and stuff, you know what I mean? But we don't get that kind of stuff on this packaging over here. There's no tech specs. We do get a little bio on the back, though. It says, to avoid detection, Bumblebee takes on a different form, disguising himself as a supercharged muscle car. I thought he was a muscle car the first time. Well, anyway, I reviewed Scorn, Slug, and Crosshairs already, so check out those reviews if you haven't seen it. And this guy transforms in 18 steps. And then we get a picture of Bumblebee right here over on the side, Transformers Generations Series M4001. So I really did go backwards with these reviews, and we have a pretty cool picture of Bumblebee right there on the card. That does not look too bad. Digging it. And the transparent red over here. So yeah, I'm sad to open this because I just really do honestly like how these guys look in packaging. I think they look pretty cool. But anyway, let's get to it and crack this thing open. Alright, so we got a pretty cool looking action figure over here. I'm happy with this Bumblebee figure. I haven't picked up a Bumblebee figure in quite some time. I gotta say the last one I picked up was from Revenge of the Fallen. So I didn't get any of the Dark of the Moon Bumblebees. This is pretty cool. I like the color scheme a lot. I really like how he transforms into his original looking car mode. Of course with a different paint scheme, all black over here, but Bumblebee still maintains his dominant yellow color. He comes with one weapon, which I actually think is pretty weak. It's just this little missile thing, and it doesn't even have like a spring or anything inside of it. It's one of these ones where you just push on the back and it flings out. It actually goes pretty far, went all the way off the review station, so I guess that's not terrible. It's kind of bent over here, leaning just a little to the left, but you know, it's alright. Nothing really crazy over here. And I like that you can store it in his alt mode too. So taking a closer look at this guy, I think it looks pretty cool. One of my favorite things about this figure though is the gunmetal color that they used on the figure. For instance, his face, it's not black, it actually has a gunmetal color, and I think that is awesome. It's kind of like a silverish gray, and that you can see it really well right over here. I think that looks great. Now he has some blue eyes painted over there, and he does have light piping that is not functional, which I think is pretty funny. So the light piping is there, but it does not work at all. They just painted the eyes blue, which actually doesn't look terrible. They could have just painted the whole back of the head yellow though. I think that would have been alright instead of, you know, giving us fake light piping. I really like this yellow color though. It's almost an orange, so it's kind of like a Giants theme that we have going on over here with this orange and black. Not a huge baseball fan, but you know, representing the SF Bay area. But yeah, I like the sculpting of this figure, and I really like the paint applications overall. He gets a little skinny in the legs. It looks kind of weird, but not a big deal. I actually think this looks pretty cool. Then here's looking at the side of the figure. Looking pretty awesome. Like I said, I dig it. This backpack over here gets pretty big though. That gets a little weird. And then here's looking at the back of the figure over here. So, you know, overall, not a bad looking action figure. And I really like that they have the inside of the doors right here sculpted very well. That's pretty nice. I didn't notice that earlier. Now, Bumblebee has some decent articulation. His head moves side to side. The only thing is that this ball peg doesn't let him look all the way up. So that's one thing I'm a little frustrated with it, but not a big deal. He can look down a bit, and he does have a little bit of neck pivot right there, so you can turn him like that. He has great shoulder joints that are very ratchety, so you kind of need two hands to move that. But yeah, it sticks all the way out like that, and then you can move it down, rotate forward. He has an elbow swivel. He also bends at the elbow. You can bend his arm all the way in like that, which is really cool too, because that's not part of the transformation. But he does not have any wrist articulation. He has no waist joint at all. He has hips that move all the way out. They rotate all the way forward. You can rotate right here at the thigh, and he bends at the knee, but he doesn't bend all the way into a 90-degree angle. You can move this down, get a little, nope, it doesn't even give you a little bit more than that. Then you can move the ankle up, or you can move this up and down too. So he kind of has two ankle joints over here. It's a little weird. So without any kind of a torso joint, no ankle rotation at all over here, it seems like it's a little limited in the articulation, but I think he's actually pretty decent for posing overall. So this Bumblebee figure stands at about 5.5 inches tall. The top of his head's just over 5 inches. And here's Bumblebee compared to himself from the first movie in his first form. And I think these are modeled off of the same car, definitely different transformations. This is much larger, as you can see. The head's even a lot bigger figure, but much brighter yellow than this guy over here. And here he is compared to the Transformers 1 2007 Bumblebee version, and this is actually my favorite and last Bumblebee figure that I had picked up for the Deluxe class anyway, so I was wrong about picking up a Deluxe class Revenge of the Fallen figure, so I skipped Bumblebee from Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon, and mostly grabbed this guy just because it's so different from the other ones. This one is really cool, still my favorite Deluxe class Bumblebee, but I do have the Human Alliance Bumblebee figure too. Here's Bumblebee compared to Scorn and Crosshairs, and you can see Bumblebee's the tallest one out of the three, which I didn't expect. And then here's Bumblebee compared to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. So I like the transformation for this figure. It's not stupid simple, nor is it incredibly complex. Let's get to it. Will you take us away, Bumblebee, or take yourself away, Bumblebee? Alright. Now the very first thing you want to do is remove this missile over here, so you just pop that out, put that aside over there. And then the first thing to the transformation actually is you're going to untab these little pegs that go right into his chest. So you're going to take that out right there. And this is actually probably one of the more frustrating parts of getting him into robot mode, is getting these two tabs in here, for me anyway. And you want to connect these two front pieces. This is going to be the bumper of the car, the front bumper of the car. And then you have these two panels and you're going to move them over his face like that. And you want to take the arms and you want to rotate them all the way out to the sides. Not just this hinge over here, but the actual shoulder joint. You're going to move that all the way to the side. Like I said earlier, you need two hands to move that across. And then this is actually a little complex, but not too bad. You want to take the forearms, so from the elbow down, you're going to rotate that forward. Do that to the other side, rotate this forward, and this piece is not removable, by the way, that's just stuck there. And then you're going to rotate the entire arm in a way so that the hand is completely upside down. I just did only that part, okay, and then this over here. So now the hands are sticking up like that. And then what you want to do is you want to take this whole piece and flip it around so that you're going to flatten out the figure. And let's get this done, there you go. And then we can flatten out this piece right here and start connecting the front of the car. And then we can move the arms inward, so we're going to move these hinges like this and move this one in as well, and then these are going to go straight underneath like that, and then move that down. And then there's this empty slot right over here that's perfect for this tab to go in, and we're just going to connect that right there, and his face is going to stay facing that way, which I don't really like, but oh well. And then you can take these two tires and then move them forward, and then I was a little premature with connecting all of that, but you can just finagle that in there and it'll work out too bad. You're not going to be in fear of breaking anything. And then going to the back part of the figure over here, you're going to move the feet up and in, so you can see this rod right here on the top of his foot is going to go into this empty slot in his shin, and there it goes. And then we have the back of the figure, and you kind of want to bend these knees up here, or this hip area, so it's going to even out like that. So you're going to do the same thing to the other side, and then tab this in from the back like so, and then take the roof of the car and everything and tab all this stuff in. It has tabs in the back windshield and the front windshield so that you can get this all connected, and then you're just going to close the doors and you pretty much got it. Just get everything all nice and secure and even and everything, and there we go. And for storage purposes, you could put the missile right back into where it was before, and boom, there you go. And because it kind of leans to one side, you want to make sure it's sticking up through there and it's not hanging down. This is pretty nice, man, and it rolls okay. Actually, you got all the wheels rolling over here. Yeah, it's not too shabby. I like it. Whee! Yeah. So if you transform it and it don't roll, then it just sucks. I really like the alt mode on this figure. I really like this matted black paint that they have on it. I think that looks awesome. I really like this a lot. And I really like that they have the gunmetal color going right here for the rims too. I think that was pretty awesome. At first I thought it was just a flat black tire all the way through, but having that little detail of having it, you know, this gunmetal color, I think is really nice. There's this Autobot logo, which seems to be the place for the Autobot logos lately. We saw that on the same place on Crosshairs too. I really wish that they'd use some kind of a clear blue transparent plastic right here. Clear blue transparent, that's not redundant at all. Just something to kind of make it look a little bit more realistic, I guess, even though windshields don't have any actual color to them. But it's pretty nice. I like it. And here's looking at the very bottom of it. I don't really like that you can see Bumblebee's face, but I'm not going to really be looking at the bottom of it while in alt mode. And then here's looking at the top right here. It looks pretty cool. And while in alt mode, the figure is just under 5 inches across. So here's both classic Bumblebees, and I can't really tell what model car this is. It doesn't really have any headlights. They kind of miss the accuracies. I'm not a car guy, but I do know that you can figure out what year the car is and everything by the headlights. That's one indicator, and I can't really tell, but they are different, so you have that. They're not exactly the same. Then here's our Age of Extinction Bumblebee compared to the 2007 Camaro version.
Here's another view at that, so you can see this guy's much bigger, much bulkier. And then here he is next to Crosshairs, a lot smaller than Crosshairs. So while this Bumblebee figure stands pretty tall in robot mode, he's actually kind of small in his alt mode. And Optimus Prime looks pretty cool next to this Bumblebee figure, probably a little too large, but I think they work in okay scale together, not terrible. So that pretty much does it. I think this is a pretty decent figure, not a must get, but there's so many Bumblebees out there in the yellow version, so to get this black version right here, I think is really cool. I'm glad I've waited until to get this guy right here, you know what I mean? Or else I'd have a ton of Bumblebees, so I'm glad like the latest one I picked up is actually a very different version, so I think that's pretty neat. Please check out tformers.com for a full gallery of images. Also, hit the like button if you like the video. Leave a comment if you want to say something about the review or the figure. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.